not a king.
Okay.
I am Igbo Ghana, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana.
But it was wrong for you to have identified yourself as king.
Yes, we can learn. We learn every day.
I see.
We learn every day.
I am standing on all authority to say yes, there was never an Igbo king in Ghana. And ask me why. The crime is
Scammer, this guy.
I think he has come out to deny this.
Yes. So this
Guys, welcome back to my channel. So the Igbo king has finally retracted or renounced his statement. He's saying he is not the Igbo king in Ghana. He is rather the chief of the Igbo community in Ghana. There was just a misinterpretation, or I don't know, something just went wrong with the translation. And some Igbo authorities from Nigeria and also those in authority in Ghana have said that there is no Igbo king in Ghana, that they don't know any Igbo king in Ghana. I will allow you guys watch the videos.
I'm not a king.
Okay.
I am Igbo Ghana, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana, the leader of Igbo community in our culture and tradition.
Was the nomenclature king emanating from your palace, as you call it, or it's from the bloggers?
It's from the bloggers.
So you have never called yourself king before? King of the Igbo people in Ghana?
No, that is a question that had a lot of answers. You see, when you say the name king, that is our local language. In our local language, when you say Eze, Eze, we have Eze as a name. People can call their children Eze. My first son is called Eze, Chidemeze. But there is also Eze in our language that had to do with kingship.
Right.
Just like people answer Nana as a normal name, answer Ni as a normal name, but these names are also a tag for kings. But then in Ghana here, with my understanding now in Ghana here, that the Constitution of Ghana did not have that provision of a king, but had provision for chiefs. In Nigeria, when people called Eze or Igwe, or that's Eze as a ruler or Igwe as a ruler, that means he's a king. So this is what we portray as Igbo Ghana. Then when somebody asks you what it is in English, you say king. Exactly. But when you look at documents given to me by my community, it's Igbo Ghana. But when I tell you Eze, you will not understand what it is.
I see.
You ask me what's the meaning of Eze in English, then I can say that in English. So that is it. Not that.
So is this then now an admittance that when you were translating Eze from your Igbo language to English, in the context of the Ghanaian people, you made a mistake translating this as king instead of chief?
No, as of the time I was crowned days of my community, we've not understand this area on how the Ghanaians address their kings as chiefs. Yes.
So then, you made a mistake then, 13 years ago.
Yes.
I see. But then you carried on that mistake until now, today that you're learning that it was wrong for you to have identified yourself as king.
Yes, we can learn. We learn every day.
I see.
We learn every day.
I see. But do you also know that the title chief is a protected title in the country, which means that you can't also call yourself chief?
No, in Ghana Constitution, the Constitution of Ghana accommodates foreigners to get the title chief for their community.
Leaders.
Yeah, for their community. Yes. Even before we started the Eze ship in Ghana, we also consulted a lawyer to know how it works. And he made us to understand that the Constitution of Ghana welcomes foreigners to be a chief, but for their community. Not over Ghanaians, but for their community, as long as they have that agreement with that community, but not over Ghanaians. So that is, we understand that. So we're not answering a chief for the people of Ghana, but for our community. So I'm from Igbo community. I'm not chief for Yoruba community. I'm not chief for Hausa community. I'm not chief for Ishekiri community, but I am for Igbo community.
So you are the leader of the Igbo
Yes.
community in Ghana.
Yes.
And you don't necessarily have to be
In our tradition and culture.
and you don't necessarily have to be titled chief.
It's necessary. Yes, because the constitution of the country also admits it. But then apart from that, we the Igbos, all over the world, we have Igbo all over the world. What we do, I need to
call himself a king, that the name Eze in Igbo has also been abolished. So now the Igbo king in Ghana cannot call himself a king, and he cannot also call himself Eze in Igbo. This latest news came from Nigeria, the traditional rulers in the southeast, which he comes from. That's where the Igbo people are. Their leaders are saying they've abolished that particular name. So he cannot even call himself the Eze in Igbo. But I have some videos to show you pertaining to that.
Latest update, Southeast traditional rulers abolish Eze Igbo title for diaspora leaders. That is to say, moving forward, as an Igbo leader or an Igbo man in diaspora, you can no longer call yourself an Igbo king. So the Southeast traditional rulers have just released a statement according to this publication by Instablog. And it reads, Southeast Council of Traditional Rulers has officially abolished the use of the title Eze Igbo by Igbo leaders living outside Igbo land. In a communique obtained by Sahara reporters, the council announced the introduction of a new title, Oyedu Igbo, for leaders in the diaspora and abroad. The statement was signed by key monarchs including Eze Isi Okeke Eze Imo and Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe, who chairs the council. The decision, they said, aims to preserve the sanctity of the Eze title, which is traditionally reserved for enthroned rulers with ancestral authority over defined kingdom or community in Igbo land. If you never hear that line well. So you cannot call yourself Eze Igbo outside Igbo land. Kudos to the Southeast traditional rulers who have deemed it fit to come into this matter ASAP.
The secretary, I was the secretary to the Arewa community at a specific time in the Nigerian community in Ghana, and many of the message this young man, Mr. Iwet of Iwet TV, of Iwet TV has put out here, they are false, very, very malicious, and they are false. First of all, I want to debunk the fact that he said there is an Igbo king in Ghana. I am standing on all authority to say yes, there was never an Igbo king in Ghana. And ask me why. The premise to my assertion is this: in the year 2011, there have been crises within the Igbo community in Ghana, right? During the formation of the Nigerian community, a certain section of persons stood up and said they are the Igbo community. They wanted to go form Igbo community. And before then, the Nigerian community has been sitting. We've been having meetings just prior to that time. Then in 2011, there was a cogent, a legitimate registration of Igbo community by the Registrar General in Accra, certified. This is gazetted. This is in, if you go to Accra today, this document is there at the Registrar General. Upon the issue reaching to the Nigerian community, where I was an integral part of the council, these issues were raised, and we said, okay, let's objectively deal with this issue. We try to bring everybody together on from the Igbo side and make them understand that they are one. What's the need for this fashion? They wouldn't listen, and the remaining community decided that the only justification for us to admit any of them as a member of the Nigerian community, which is the umbrella body of Nigerians living in Ghana, recognized by the Nigerian High Commission and the Nigerian government back in Nigeria, we would only use legitimate documents certified by the Ghana government, to which we are under the authority at the time, as a basis for admittance of anyone into the Nigerian community. And these said people went and brought this said document, and the remaining member of the Nigerian community or component that makes up the Nigerian community adopted this group as a legitimate member of the Nigerian community. The Nigerian community has 4 components, which is the Arewa community, the South community, the Igbo community, and the Yoruba community. Those are the components that makes up the Nigerian community. And the Nigerian High Commission deals directly with the Nigerian community, being the umbrella body of Nigerians living in Ghana. Are you getting it? Now, when the issue of chieftaincy beginning to raise its ugly head, the Igbo community stood firmly against this particular idea by some elements within the Igbo community wanting to be crowned king of Igbos in Ghana. The elders saw this years back, which some of us didn't see. They went vehemently against the idea by these few individuals wanting to be kings of Igbo in Ghana. They told them that I was always in most of the meetings as a secretary to my community. They told them that we have come to Ghana to do our business, and we are not in Ghana to set up kingdoms. For those of you who want to set up palaces and become kings and all of that, if you want to do that, return back to Nigeria and do this. This is even against sections of the Ghanaian law for a foreigner to come into Ghana, and wants to be king. So they went to court tried to put sanctions, injunctions on some of their coronations, but these men wouldn't listen. They still maneuver their ways and find ways to go and do this thing. Let me read the public notice that was sent by the Igbo community to the general public in Ghana as at that time in the year 2012. Listen to what the public, I don't know if you can capture this place briefly. Capture it. I really want to set the record straight so that the world would hear and understand the exact truth behind this thing. A lot of people are accusing Igbos wrongfully, whereas a lot of Igbos the Igbo community in Ghana did not even support the chieftaincy thing that you are hearing today. Let me read it through briefly. The office of the leadership and entire membership of the Igbo community in Ghana wishes to inform the general public that it disassociates itself from Mr. Chukwudi J. Ehinatu, who has crowned himself as Eze Igbo in Ghana and will outdoor himself from the 14th to the 16th of September 2012, and one Mr. Mesai Godfrey Mokoko, who is also going to crown himself as Eze Igbo of Nigerian community in Ghana on the 9th of September 2012 at Kama Conference Center in Accra. This is an unlawful self-proclamation in position of the high office of Eze Igbo. Their pictures beneath, and the statement continue. We state with great emphasis that the above-mentioned persons is operating discreetly and without the knowledge, legal, and moral mandate from the very people they seek to lead. Their actions hold national tension, confusion, and chaos in the country, since their action runs counter to the rules and regulations of the Igbo community in Ghana. The statement continues.
He says no, he's a scammer. Big time scammer, this guy.
I think he has come out to deny this.
Yes, so this man is a big time scammer. I'm coming to that.
Can't we take his word for?
No. You voice it out. You said you are a man of integrity. You who are selling cassettes and tips and repairing computers, you are a man of integrity. And so you have grown to become a chief. You are even having sub-chiefs in every region.
Yeah, that's also another angle to the whole equation.
We are going to get there. I don't know what is wrong with the Ghanaian mentality and mindset. Seriously, I don't know why. Even I'm told, even some media men, he's even giving them chieftaincy titles.
Yeah.
Media men and women.
We've seen the coronation and all of that.
I mean, where have we gone wrong? How can we stoop this low to even address this man as His Royal Highness? Come on, where did he get the royalty from? This Royal Highness, where did he get it from?
So guys, finally the air has been cleared. So there's no Igbo king in Ghana. And the Igbo authorities have said there's no Igbo king in Ghana. From henceforth, just disregard that statement. Anyway, I love how this man, break down the history. He made us to understand that there were some group of people who fought vehemently that they want to form a kingdom or whatever, or just make sure they have a king among the Igbos, which others did not agree to. So it is something that some group of people did without the approval of everyone in the group. So that means that this Igbo king, not every Igbos are supporting it. Not every Nigerians are supporting it. So they decided to go ahead to do it with or without the support of the general group. So now that the whole thing have blown up, I love the fact that they've come out to clear the air that anything called king of Igbo in another land is not possible. From henceforth, nobody should call themselves king of Igbos when you are in another man's land. Even the title that he's using, Eze Igbo, they say they shouldn't use it anymore. So I think he will get the memo now, because he is still saying he's Eze Igbo of Ghana. But he has translated it saying he is the chief of the Igbo community in Ghana. So even that chief he is calling himself, some Igbos are not in support of it. Remember, it's not everyone who supported this whole kingdom or this whole kingship from the beginning. So he's only king to some Igbos in Ghana that supported him for being the king of the Igbo community. So he's the king of the Igbo community of the Igbos supporting him, not of all the Igbos. So guys, I hope that with all this explanation, with him clearing the hair, I hope things settle down. And I just pray that from henceforth, people learn from this. When you're in another man's land, I beg, mind the way you do things, mind the way you carry yourself, mind the way you talk, mind the way you form, groups and communities. Just be mindful. Know that that is not your country. So do things with sense. So please, let's all learn from this. And I know that from henceforth, the man has learned. He's going to know how to adjust himself and carry himself in Ghana very well. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to drop in the comment section what you think about all this, and see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.